What's up, everybody? It's Guy Coolin. So 3 months ago, I released my remix of Alex Martin's song Restart, and it's getting close to near 3,000 streams on SoundCloud, which is actually pretty crazy. I'm really glad to see that a lot of people like the remix. I personally think it's one of my best remixes. I love how clean the mix turned out to be, and initially it was for a competition, but I didn't win. Irregardless, I'm really proud of how well it turned out. So I thought to show my appreciation to you guys for showing such great support on this song, I thought I'd show you guys how I made this song here. If you guys want to see more videos like this, I would highly suggest if you guys would like this video and let me know down in the comments. And if you want to stay up to date to other new stuff that I put out, I tend to put out remakes, my own music, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Feel free to subscribe. So without further ado, let's go into the project file. So hold up. So this is pretty much the final mix of the remix. It's not too terribly big compared to a lot of my other projects, but I will show you guys how each element made this whole song come together. So let's start with the beginning. So for the intro, we have a few elements here, and this pattern right here was actually the first thing that came to mind, and it was actually inspired by the MIDI of this J Hertz piano. I would highly suggest you guys check out his sample packs. It's a pretty good sample pack, I can't lie. So that ambience was pretty much the inspiration for the start of the song. I was kind of looking around for ambient samples, kind of played around with the pitch and found a pitch that I really liked, which was G major. And I looked for the MIDI file and I imported it into this piano here and just changed the chord progression a bit from what I had just played there to this instead. And the elements for this pattern here is a Labs piano, which is the Autograph Grand, which surprisingly it's not the intimate piano since I tend to use the intimate piano a lot, and this is how it sounds on its own. There's also a copy of it that's just playing an arpeggiated pattern right here. And there's also this guitar that's playing the same arpeggiated pattern, just in a different octave, just one octave lower. And it is actually Solaris Guitar Lite from Quiet Music. I would highly suggest you guys check out some of their products. This is one of my favorite ones by far. All those together sound like this. And I think you guys obviously notice is that there's like a lot of reverb on the piano. The piano has, I don't know if this is the right one, is it? So the piano has some sound goodizer on D mode, a parametric EQ, just getting rid of all this really low end. This is actually the reverb here. It is Valhalla Supermassive. I can't remember which preset I'm using. I'm pretty sure I'm using it might either be one of the large or medium reverbs, but pretty much all it's doing is creating a reverb that I'm actually using sort of as an ambience, because you can't really hear it as much. It's kind of just sitting there in the background, if that makes sense. We have a few other elements here. We have this ARP that slowly introduced into the song. You have like this vocal chop ambience. That has some processing on it, just some reverb, and I don't know why that's there, honestly. Actually, I might know. We'll find out later. Anyways, we have this natural ambience, which is just like something for texture. It's just like forest ambience with some birds. And what I'm actually doing with that is just adding a little bit of reverb on it right here. And we also have this other atmosphere, which kind of acts as a drone. Which also has a bit of rainforest ambience in it too. We also have this guitar loop here. There's also this little pluck here. This is actually like an MHA pluck in Vital here. And I'm just reverberating the crap out of it. I don't think I did any post-processing. Nope, I didn't. We don't got anything else, just like this little sweep transition here. All of these sound fine by themselves, but when you put them all together, you get like this most beautiful intro ever. Also have the vocals here being introduced. And I have those separate from the original vocals here. For this reason, I'm distorting them a little bit. Well, not a little bit. And then I'm just bandpassing it to kind of make it radio-like almost. So it sounds more of like a, I guess like a distorted radio in a sense. And then it flows right into the actual vocals here. And then into this breakdown we have here. And what flows into the breakdown is this. This is actually a vocal sample that I recorded myself, which is like an ad-lib I made myself. And the processing on it is quite heavy. Let's see here. We have a limiter, just getting rid of any background noise. Parametric EQ, just getting rid of the low end. And this is the one thing that's one of the most important things, is the auto-tune. Soothe, just to get rid of any harsh frequencies. Soft clipper, just to push it to its absolute loudest limit. Sound Goodizer, just to limit it a little bit. And Fruity Reverb, which has a really long decay too. We also have this tonal reverse here. And those all help flow into the actual breakdown. We have some drums here, which is just like a couple top loops just for energy. We have this guitar here, which is an acoustic guitar. That is Ample Guitar Lite. And why the pattern looks like this is because inside the plugin, I'm actually using the strummer, which is set to different keys to activate different chords. We also have, let's see what else. I don't think I'm doing actually too much processing in the guitar. No, I'm not. Just some EQ, Sound Goodizer on A mode, Patcher, which is just being used to get rid of a lot of the lows and kind of boost some of the highs. The stereo enhancer for strings, just a little bit of reverb, and once again, I don't know what the Fruity Bounce is doing. You also have this bass guitar here. that is flex. It is the tersus. Tersus? Is that how you say it? Essential bass guitars pack. It's pretty good. All I'm really doing with it is just getting rid of any high end that I don't want. And we have the actual vocals here, and I don't think I'm doing any processing for the vocals.
Take me downtown, cause tonight I'm going back to life. I got no doubt, can say loud, I never felt the vibe.
Yeah, I'm not doing too much processing with it here. Excuse me. Let's see what else we got here. I think that's pretty much it for the breakdown, other than just this sweep and the vocal ad-lib again. Which leads us into the actual build-up. Let's see what we have here. We got all these build-up drums here. You guys get the idea. You know how to make build-ups. Don't ask me how. Just a whole bunch of transitional effects here. Along with this riser I use a lot. Let's see what else we have going on here. Other than just the automations, I just have the main melody being filtered in. And I have an endless smile, pretty much just reducing the stereo wideness and turning down the volume and introducing a lot of reverb. Something I would recommend you guys do if you want to make your pre-drop fills just a little bit more interesting, take your vocal out of another version of it and pitch it up and format shift it. So then you kind of get like a feminine vocal layer. Which leads us into the actual drop. So the drop, I'm pretty sure I started off by just taking the chords from the intro and just writing a melody onto it, which sounds like this, obviously, which we all know. At first, I thought this melody was a little bit all over the place, but when you play it in context with the song, it's a pretty damn good melody. So what I tend to do nowadays is that I like to export my patterns into Wave to avoid overusing the CPU. This is my main lead here. I was trying to make a bit of a new lead here. It's mostly just a whole bunch of different leads here, just mostly Serum. And what I like to do nowadays also is that I suggest you guys do this as well. If you have a lead stack that you like a lot, save it into a layer state, so then you can always use it later. And then it also allows you to control all of them at the same time. The reason why none of them are linked to a channel is because I deleted the channels afterwards. All pretty much just like stereotypical Future Bound stuff. Maybe some of them are just like vocal hits. I also have like a few other stuff here, like they're just meant for mids. And all of them together pretty much make like this massive lead together. I'll show you what I do with my lead mixing. It's actually not as crazy as you think it is. I'll just have an EQ, just getting rid of lows, boosting some mids, boosting some highs, all pass phase, which is pretty much adding like that punchiness to it. I do it before compression so that it makes it punchier. I also have this, which is just the reverb automation. OCT, not too much. Kilohertz distortion, not too much again. I don't like to distort and compress it too much. Camel Crusher. Another EQ, kind of just boosting some high mids and some highs, getting rid of the lows that are reintroduced by compression. A G clip. This kind of acts as like a expander, and a limiter at the same time, and a filter for the drop, and some sidechain. I guess it's more complicated than it really looks. Something else I also did with the lead is that I added like these little bits from the drop of Restart, just like the stutter vocal. Also added this whistle here in the second half. I don't tend to heavily process my whistles. I kind of just go with some compression, some EQ, maybe sometimes a disperser and G-clip and sidechain, and just call it good. Anyways, I also have my bass here. This is sort of a new bass, sort of not at the same time. I mean, it's not really a new bass when you think about it. It's pretty much just any other Future Bounce bass. This is the other reason why I like to bounce my patterns out into wave, because then you get better control over the volume. You can do better cuts with it. So this is my bass here, the mid bass at least. It's not really too complicated. I mean, maybe I lied. Anyways, let's see. And there are a few basses from Fire Volume 2, which I'm still working on. Please do not get on my butt about this. But yeah, that's pretty much my bass there. And I tend to separate my sub from my mid bass to have greater control over it, since I do my sub bass differently. Let's see here. What did I do for the bass? I don't think I did too much with it. Yeah, I didn't really do too much with it. Just cut the lows, just get rid of the sub. Some OTT, a lot more than the leads. Got some distortion on it, just a little bit more than the leads. Camel crusher, compressor, no distortion. Another EQ, getting rid of reintroduced lows. Sound Goodizer on B mode. All pass phase for the punchiness. I'm not using too much. Fruity filter for the drop, and another sidechain. And I'll just show you guys how that filter automation sounds with the lead and bass. Right here. Something else I also tend to add in my bass is obviously stabs. Everyone adds stabs. Well, maybe not everyone. Yeah, there's pretty much not many stabs here. It's pretty much just 3 of them. The stab F3, C-Lock stab, and this DGX stab, which is just basically the dirty palm stab. And yeah, next we have the chords here. This is something a little unique that I did, is I created kind of like this stutter effect along with a filter going upwards, which is a pretty cool effect in my opinion. Effects aren't too crazy, just got an EQ, getting rid of some of these highs and getting rid of the lows. This is for that reverb automation Valhalla Supermassive. Got some OTT, 27% depth, saturation knob instead of using distortion because I don't like my chords to be too crunchy. Another parametric EQ boosting some mids, a sound goodizer on D mode, a fruity stereo enhancer just to make them wider, and this is pretty much for both the, well, not for both, it's pretty much just for the filter automation that you hear in the drop. And then we just have kickstart for sidechain. Anyways, that's pretty much all of the synths. All of the synths together sound like this. There is like a little bit of a sidechain pause here. There's also like this little fill thing that I created when I got inspired by Paulo's song With Me. It's pretty much just like this little plug fill. It's pretty cool fill, honestly. I like it a lot. It's how it sounds with everything else in context. We also have the drums here, which isn't too crazy. Just got like this Everest Kick 02, which is just the ball VRP kick. Bounce, get bounce clap too. Whole bunch of dirty palm claps. This one's actually one that I got from Fonk Loop or Fonk. I don't know what his alias is really. A whole bunch of other elements here. Something I would recommend you guys do with your drums for the drop claps, don't use it on every single kick, because then it can kind of mess up the energy. If there's a specific energy vibe that you're looking for, use the drop clap on only certain beats. Like for example, I only have it on a few of these. I'll show you what I mean. As opposed to doing this. You can almost hear how you get a little bit of a different vibe. Second half, I don't have really have too much anything going on here. Just a ride, some hi-hats, and this ambience I like to use a lot, which is basically like the Guy Kool-Aid drop ambience. And I got the art from the intro. And that's pretty much the drop there. For the second break, I have a little bit of a different vibe going on here. So I have this Grandpa's Clock cashmere loop here. All I have going on with it is this fruity multi-band compressor, a parametric EQ boosting a lot of the mids and just isolating that one spot in the frequency spectrum, and a good amount of reverb. Which gives it a pretty cool vibe. This is how it sounds without those effects. We also have the vocals from the original playing here. Going into that other mix that I mentioned earlier. And that flows into this second breakdown here, where I actually have a copy of the vocals playing in a different vibe. I've pitched them up and format shifted them 4 cents.
Sometimes I like to leave it all behind. When the moonlight surrounds you, I get hypnotized. They say we're too young to leave the way we are, but I can't get enough of your body in my arms.
I like to do this a lot because it kind of gives the vibe of a male-female duo when you do it this way.
They say we're too young to leave the way we are, but I can't get enough of your body in my arms.
There's also this strings right here I have playing. I don't know why they're not playing. Oh, now I just remembered what the bounce thing that I kept mentioning earlier. I didn't know what it did. It's meant to cut all the instruments as soon as the pre-drop happens. So this is how the strings sound here. And the strings are from actually 2 stacks here. First one is Expressive Strings in Labs. And the other one is the All String Sustain in Flex. The effects on there is actually an FL Studio preset. It's called Mastering for Strings. I just turned off the EQ because I don't like these weird resonant frequencies. It sounds really annoying when you play it. Like, I really don't like these ringing frequencies here, so I just turn that off every time. We also have these cinematic drums here. And that leads into this sort of like this future bass breakbeat breakdown, I guess you could call it. Anyways, I'll show you what's going on here. What I actually did first was that I created the chords and I bounced them out to wave. This is how they sound here. And what I did afterwards is that I just took them and just chopped them. Did the same for the bass and sub bass. This is my bass here. And my sub bass here. And all of those together sound like this when they're chopped up. The effects on the chords isn't too crazy. Just an EQ, OTT, saturation out because I didn't want to crush the shit out of the chords. Got another parametric EQ, just getting rid of the lows. Sound Guidizer on A mode because I wanted them to be really crispy, and I'm just making the chords like really wide. And I'll show you what the Fruity Bounce does. It's on both the bass and the chords. Bass is pretty much the same thing, except I'm distorting the ever-living crap out of them. Well, yeah, the sub bass, I'm pretty sure I'm just leaving it alone, which I pretty much do all the time with it. I just throw on a sidechain and just call it good. I never find a reason to process my sub bass unless I absolutely have to. And what I'm using as the lead actually for this breakbeat part is the vocal. Except it's distorted and it's being format shifted down and it's being processed in a ridiculous way. It's pretty much the same vocal chain I use all the time. I just have a lot of distortion and a G clip, and in between it I also have this cymatics vocal chop here. And what those all sound together is like this here. And what I'm doing here for the drums is a eater kick, which is just a cymatics kick. A snare here from Styx Future Bounce sample pack. Just to get a breakbeat vibe. Also have this hi-hat loop here, which sounds like this. Which already gives a really good vibe. And then I have this cashmere clap loop here, which adds even more of a really good vibe to it. Got like a little scratch fill here. And what I'm doing for the side chain is a bit different. I have two different ones. I have one for the chords and mid bass. I think this is also for the vocals too. sub bass has a much stronger one here. Also have these ambiances just playing in the background. And all of that together sounds like this. Which pretty much leads us into the build-up again. And they have this fake out right here. Right here's what I like to do a lot. What I actually did here is that I removed the bass and just soloed the chords. And when the bass comes in, I actually slowly bring it back in. Which I don't know why it's not doing it the way I want it to. Like that. For the outro, I'm pretty much just bringing out the last bits of the drop and also bringing in the drop vocal from Restart. And then at the end, I have this little second sick rate fill here. And that's pretty much all of the song there. The extended mix isn't really anything different. All I did here was just this little vibe where I just take the chords, take the bass, and just kind of use them as stabs, along with the actual stab here, and just use the stab again. And I just have all of it playing together over here. But yeah, that's pretty much the whole song. How long did I really take to make this though? I wonder if there's like a way to show it right here. 18 hours and 28 minutes. So that's sort of like my average time I spend on most of my songs. I mean, there's like an exception for some of my songs. Like for example, Anxiety was one that actually took 40 hours to make. If you guys actually want a video on how I made Anxiety, let me know in the comments. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this entire video. If you guys want to stay up to date of anything else that I release or any other videos I upload, please feel free to subscribe. Love you guys. See ya.